Hello everyone, welcome back to Vyapar Jagat TV and thank you so much for joining us today for this particular show and show का नाम है Talk with Greenpreneur. So today I am at here and this is Sahyog Design Bay Private Limited studio. So I am with two experts. One is Mr. Anand Saboo and another is Shilpi Saboo. So these are the experts and they are into architecture and interior designing and consultation. जब हम ग्रीन बिल्डिंग की बात करते हैं तो ग्रीन बिल्डिंग के बारे में काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हैं एंड टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस एंड वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न मोर अबाउट ग्रीन बिल्डिंग होता क्या है एंड व्हाट आर द सेट ऑफ थिंग्स यू शुड नो अबाउट ग्रीन बिल्डिंग की. जो आप जब भी ग्रीन बिल्डिंग का कोई कंसेप्ट आपके दिमाग में आता है तो कैसे वो पूरा बिल्डिंग जो है वो ग्रीन बनता है. So let us welcome Mr. Anand and Shilpi to this particular show. Sir, thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for taking out your time for this particular show and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen. We are obliged that we are with you talking about greenness, which should be there, and that's one of our mottos, and that's why where we are.
So we'll start with your background. So first of all, we want to understand that how it was all started. मतलब how you thought about the sustainability और green का जो especially concept है वो आपने कब start किया and what is the story behind it?
So this is when I was studying. I was doing my masters at SEP, and we used to discuss, what the future of architecture would be, or what is the important thing which as architects, as designer, we should think about. So हम दोनों का नजरिया यही था कि energy is one of the major sector which each and every one of us should really take care. So that's how we started. We had an idea of having building integrated solar panel because solar energy is abundant in India, and we wanted to make sure we should do something about it. So we were incubated at NID, National Design Business Incubator.
So there we were given an opportunity, and at that point of time, the startup initiatives were taking a boost, and of course, at present also it's the same as a startup atmosphere which is there. And in that, we, as one of our projects where we look at build solar. Integrated into the building design. Of course, there are typical rooftop solars which are there, and construction industry is going on in a boom. So there could be also various options where how to integrate solar panels, how energy can be produced, and decentralized energy systems can be created. So that was one of the thoughts, and then it took us to one more step ahead where we got incubated and started designing, detailing, and look at solar integrated projects, and that's where we found few projects in which we were able to respond in a productive way, and that's where our confidence that market also needs a greenpreneurs, where someone who can guide them in the right direction with the right balance, and things can go into a greener direction.
And more or less. Efficiency, if generally we discuss, if we buy a vehicle, just a very basic example we use, if we go to buy a vehicle or if we buy any instrument, air conditioning unit, so we take how much best equipment is, 5-star rating, or what is the average. If the average is good, then we choose a vehicle or choose an instrument. This is a basic norm. So we have at certain point of time, people would be asking builders, what is the efficiency measure of this particular house or a flat or anything. So that was the basic thought in what drive us. The houses or the buildings, the spaces should be more efficient in terms of what currently they are. Currently they are not. So we are working on it. Yeah. So let's see.
So we had a punchline also, like when you buy a car. So there was some Maruti's campaign which was there. आपकी गाड़ी कितना देती है, And so we also pitched that आपका घर कितना देता है? You know, so that sort of punchline. Okay, are we aware of asking someone a question that what is the efficiency of a house?
Is my house, is my space which I am going to purchase, you know, जिस जो हमारा जो market का scenario है, which is very very expensive. So we don't ask, you know, is this particular house or is this space, is this efficient?
Yeah.
So this is like, you know,
and looking at that, because our cars have a life cycle of 5 years, 10 years, but house 25 years, 35 years. You know, any building you buy, so then your accumulative cost becomes more than your purchase cost at some point of so. But then that awareness that started looking at this question. First is people should start asking this question, and who is going to answer this question? And that's where we come into picture. That we would make people aware that this is much efficient. That this whole journey of starting, people start getting aware how to get green. This is one of the initial steps, to ask the right questions to someone, and then the person will get okay. If a consumer asks his builder, "I can do efficiency,"
right?
You know, then the developer will say, "हाँ, मैंने नहीं खबर." Then he will search, and then the green journey starts from there.
आनंद जी, ये बताइए कि at Sahyog, I mean, first of all, I want to understand that how this particular name came in your mind. Why it is the Sahyog Design Way Private Limited? What is the concept behind it? And the second question, which is associated with the same thing, is what are the services you are offering at Sayo?
So the name Sahyog is something where we deeply believe that I have X expertise, she has Y expertise, and other like-minded people have multiple expertise. So it's not one man show which can make change, you know, and that's why I believe that Sahyog as a name that we should get together and do certain things. So that's why
collaboration is the way to design in near future. So if we are doing, and if certain project comes which is, you know, which we don't have an expertise into, but we would like to collaborate and expand. Growing was of more driving factor. So, you know, Sahyog is a term which, you know, we are assisting each other and at an equal level. कोई नीचे नहीं है, कोई ज़्यादा, मतलब ऐसा, that hierarchy is not there. We are at the same level and we are collaborating for a better future, better design. That's how the name came.
Sayo. And then where are we getting collaborated together is the design thing. Right. That's why the design way which goes forward.
Wow. And so what are the services you are offering?
Ours is a multidisciplinary firm. We have 7 verticals in which architecture and interior is the base and the core of what our expertise lying into. And then megajoules is another vertical in which we talk specifically about energy efficiency and sustainability, in which we design, and we are also solar consultant. So we have that is the third category. We are also into technology in terms of 3D printing.
Designing.
3D printing, which is a new technology.
Right.
And
3D printing and precast technology, which is there. So the fourth part is next generation building, which looks into precast construction, where resource efficiency and a way to go in a new generation of building technology. These are the 4 related to building aspects. Then we look at truly retail, where we look at retail formats, which is there. Then 6th is wayfinders, where we look at institutes and where the information hierarchy in wayfinding becomes much more important. So we do wayfinding systems for bigger institutes and malls which are there. And the 6th is
the last one is strategic design management, in which we consult other firms in terms of business strategy. So this is like
multi-facet design organization.
Super. Right. So, madam, you are IGBC certified, and sir, you are GRIA certified. So you both are experts, and so I want to understand that what is the definition of green building, right? So as per those the certification criteria, और कोई building जो है उसको green building कब कह सकते हैं?
इसमें कैसा है कि these are all they have this addendum. They have this guidelines which we need to follow. So I have cleared those. I have studied those guidelines. Anand has also studied, and we understood the parameters. So if we want to make a certain building green, we have to follow those protocols. So you might also be knowing कि अगर हमको कोई we need a passing document. So we have this regulation, you know, आपको इतना मार्जिन छोड़ना है, आपको ऐसा करना है, आप ऐसा करोगे तो ही आपको बिल्डिंग BU परमिशन मिलेगी. Okay. Similarly, green building maybe there are various parameters which we need to follow in terms of IGBC, NGRIHA and ECBC energy building conservation codes. So those codes we understand. So if any design comes to us, we have to follow those protocols, we have to follow those guidelines, and we submit our document. So for the third party approval in terms of IGBC and GRIHA rated buildings. If we are not going for certification, we can still also make our building green. So passive strategies कैसे होती हैं, या having 15 years of experience in the field. So we specialize, we understand, you know, how to take care of those passive strategies and apply active strategies and overall make a more efficient space. I hope थोड़ा clarity because it's very technical.
No, it is technical and एक जनरल जो एक लोगों के दिमाग में रहता है, whenever you know somebody sees a building and building जो है उसमें बहुत सारा gardening अगर है, तो sometimes people do assume that this is a green building, right? So now you rightly said that, you know, if suppose, I mean, so for green building certification there are a lot of parameters that someone has to pass, and then it is called a green building.
It's highly planted building, which you would say that उसमें plantation ज़्यादा लगा हुआ है, so it's highly planted building, but then उसका परफॉर्मेंस कैसा है, ठीक है, that derives it to be a green building, you know, वो कितना इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल कम हुआ है, that is where the economics comes and where a lot of technical evaluation of the building goes. So for an example, if someone has designed a building, we can predict the behavior based on the simulation tools. There are a lot of simulation tools which are there now in the market, so we can simulate it, predict the behavior of the building, and that becomes a technical aspect, you know. And then someone asks के आप efficiency कैसे derive करते हो?
Right.
So that's the way you derive the efficiency of the building by simulation. And then
so imagine this. I would like to add to this point. Imagine a scenario in which you are aware कि ये flat में ले रही हूँ या ले रहा हूँ, and you know कि आपका energy consumption इतना है, तो आपका per month bill इतना आने वाला है. So you are आप पहले से you are aware. So that kind of scenario we can give an idea to any builder or so, मतलब कि इतना consumption होगा, and these are the ways which we can lower down the energy consumption. And अगर energy consumption low हुआ तो आपका impact on cost वो आप होता है, मतलब अपने आप ही it has an effect. So
okay.
That's I think a very important thing.
Of course, the cost is a technical aspect, which is the economic aspect. But then when you look at a green building, your experience, the experience. So when you go into it, so heat कम आ रही होगी, तो आपका comfort of living अच्छा हो जाएगा. These are all perceived values which comes with the green building. So if your building is not getting heated up, you will definitely be happy going in. Definitely. So there are a lot of other values which adds to it, which are not, you cannot quantify it, but it has to be experienced, and that's what creates a green building different from a normal building.
So सर ये कोई भी एक बिल्डिंग जो है, जब मतलब आर्किटेक्चर उसका बनता है, वहाँ से आप उसको सारे एस्पेक्ट को ध्यान में रख के पूरा बिल्डिंग जो है उसको ग्रीन बनाते हो. अब ग्रीन बिल्डिंग बन जाता है, समझो कि आर्किटेक्चर मतलब जो इंटीरियर वाला जो पार्ट है वो उसके बाद में होता है. तो अब कुछ तरीके से अगर जो इंटीरियर जो है वो अगर ग्रीन नहीं हुआ वहाँ पे, तो इसका जो एक इवैल्यूएशन वगैरह होता है वो कैसे होता है? मतलब ग्रीन सर्टिफिकेशन एक बार मिल गया, वो फिर मिल गया मतलब वो लाइफ टाइम ग्रीन बिल्डिंग कहलाता है, या बीच में ऐसा भी होता है कि वो ग्रीन बिल्डिंग का सर्टिफिकेशन जो है वो कैंसिल हो जाता है? हाउ इज इट?
I mean, it's a assessment, lifetime assessment रहता है. जैसे अगर एक पूरे इंटायर बिल्डिंग को मिला है एंड जो इंटीरियर की स्पेसेस को इफ अ पर्सन इज नॉट यूजिंग तो इम्पैक्ट वुड बी लेस. सो अगर आपका आर्किटेक्चर ऑफ द स्पेस इज मोर एफिशिएंट देन जो आपका इम्पैक्ट है इंटीरियर स्पेसेस में वो कम रहेगा. मतलब पूरी 10 फ्लोर की बिल्डिंग है एंड ओनली दिस पर्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम ऑफ अ फ्लैट अगर वो ग्रीन नहीं है तो इम्पैक्ट वुड बी लेस. If you want to make that green interiors, that is also possible through IGBC. So, मतलब there are segments. Green architecture, green college, so IGBC green. मतलब उस तरीके का there are many. There are many segments, very typologies of building. So we can make them. And what you are asking about the time duration is we do post occupancy survey and we assess the building. We can also recheck. We can do relook. But first 20 years, 15 years, I don't think कि that building will उसका functioning में कुछ less होगा because अभी technology is so good कि the span of the building has increased. So we have to recheck and audit energy audits so we can get an idea कि how the building is performing.
Okay, so in green buildings, sustainable development, sustainability, environment, it is a challenge. For America, it's a global challenge, and I think every government, every country is highly focused. And it is going to be a buzzword कि जहाँ पे सब लोग sustainability की बात करते हैं. तो according to your experience, एक particular building जो है वहाँ पे आपको sustainability suggest करना तो लोगों के पास क्या एक्सपीरियंस है, उनके पास अवेयरनेस है या इट इज समथिंग वेयर यू हैव टू कंसल्ट देम प्रॉपर्ली, यू हैव टू शोकेस ऑल द बेनिफिट्स एंड देन दे गेट कन्विंस्ड टू हैव द ग्रीन बिल्डिंग.
So I'll answer this in two parts. One, definitely sustainability is one of the things which is a great concern. Reason is there needs to be the sustainability has to be a lifestyle, So I'm not saying you need to be a sadhu to be that, but your normal lifestyle, you need to be aware what you're doing which is sustainable and what you're not doing which is not sustainable. So that awareness which is to be there. But then when as a person, so I have a daughter who is a 8-year-old daughter, but then when we push a lot there is a rebel behavior. So I do feel that not pushing but showing them possibilities is more important. So what we do to people is what is sustainability and how it works and what are its benefits, rather than pushing ये तो करना ही चाहिए, ये तो करना ही चाहिए. So rather than being activist into it, we want them to experience sustainability. And at present, as we are in this space and doing this interview non-air conditioned space, the experience drives people. Okay, so in our constraint of work, how much we can do things, it makes people believe into it, and then we take them a step ahead is something which drives people. नहीं तो अगर आपको बोला जाए कि यार कौन सी सस्टेनेबल बिल्डिंग है तुम बताओ, so you cannot say कि यार इसमें मजा आया इसमें नहीं आया, because entertainment and sustainability are two different things. You cannot you cannot entertain sustainability. You have to feel it, you have to consciously embrace it, and then you go ahead. So that's what is. So you cannot market sustainability in what sense this is sustainable. So a person needs to get aware what is he falling into and what it is. So we should try to make them aware. And then if they think it could make value for them, then it's more important. So value creation is important, but then it has to come from the client side rather than we pushing and marketing it. Most of time it becomes a fuss of green building के market करने के लिए चाहिए, then it doesn't fall that way. So we have to make them aware, entice them. So when they start believing into it, we feel really happy, and we also take 2 steps ahead and make things which are more sustainable. So that's how we approach the way we work about sustainability.
So sir, according to you, what is the ratio जो भी buildings बन रहे हैं उसमें how many % buildings are becoming green and the other part is not?
So I do think if all the bylaws and all the national building codes are followed by everyone rightly, 80% of your buildings will be green. Okay? But people don't follow it. So at this point of time, they find easy ways to build. So I put on the more optimistic way, I can say 10 to 15% are there. But people follow it genuinely, not being green, but all the national building codes also. But at this point of time, sorry to say, it will be between 10 to 12%. I'm being more optimistic also.
Now, my next question is about the future, wherein personally I want to start with your larger vision and goal. And then, what do you see, what is the future of India after 20 years, as far as the sustainability is concerned?
We are now, and climate crisis is, it's real. हम लोग floods के बारे में देख रहे हैं, या अभी water crisis. Now, water crisis and energy crisis, they are very, very real. And the future can be better only when we are all aware and conscious towards, sustainability and energy efficiency. How we are spending and expensing energy. So if we are rightly driven towards and conscious towards climate, then our future is bright. Otherwise, we would be challenged. We are facing those challenges like the floods which we are currently having. I would really want each and every one of us, to be more conscious and aware towards the environment and climate. So these all the issues are really real. I mean, we cannot say कि हाँ अभी थोड़े साल के बाद ऐसा होगा या हमने ऐसा पढ़ा है, ऐसा कुछ होगा. It's a very challenging scenario.
To add to that, our vision is to be there, not as a Sayo individual. We would like to create multiple footprints in multiple geographies, not as an office or something, but create sustainable sites, sustainable experience centers all across India, where person goes, he understands what sustainability and he starts practicing it. So that sort of footprint is one of our looking at next 20 years. That we could be. I'll now not say cities or villages. Now things are same. Mehsana or Palanpur is as important as Ahmedabad, because you have to have. But the thought is you spread all across India at various locations where there are sustainability experience centers. So Sahyog's motto is to create 20 or 25 experience centers all across India. And in next 20 years. So only 1.2, 1.1
or energy catalyst
or something. So every space. So a person who goes, sustainability kya hai? So come experience it, and then you know what to do. And that's where you put your footprint. That people are aware. And then if they are not aware about sustainability, how are they going to practice?
So, sir, I'm sure you are the leaders, you are the experts, but in every business, in every agency, in every venture, we have seen that there are some sort of challenges, right? So we want to know about what kind of challenges you are having or you had in the past, and how did you work?
That's what we have learned through. Rather than convincing them, show them the possibilities. If their willingness, they are willing to do, then only we can help them. Rather than only doing what we say, whitewash or greenwash, I can say. It doesn't make sense. So that's one of the challenges which we face is we don't want to do greenwash. We want them to do things in the right spirit, and that's where we are thriving. And to overcome it, we work hard. We show them data in multiple ways. So we do a lot of simulation in the office to make them show how is the behavior, rather than saying कि हमको ऐसा लगता है ऐसा कर सकते हैं. So we
not just the aesthetic part of the spaces or building, but actually if we change any material, what would be the impact on the entire building? So energy efficiency से क्या related to? So that's how we try to convince clients and
try to show our that. And of course then we don't perceive, then we do also the cost analysis also to make him realize that how much expensive it is. So generally, you could say your green building, which is 1 lakh square feet of construction, if you are doing, it could be not more than 2% expensive than a conventional building. So you have to thrive. We have to take also do the cost evaluation aspect. So that's something which we have to also push and do more to make people realize that they are not, the green building are not expensive proposition. They are just something where you have to be more precise. You have to look at things in much more detail. That's what we would like. So that's where we push ourselves much more thriving that one.
Bilkul. And that is, I think, very much important.
Yeah.
Bilkul. So Anandji, now I have one question about the culture, especially your office culture, wherein you can share something about some uniqueness or how your office culture and how the disciplines or the policies you are having in office.
See, it's we have quite a flexible system in terms of if I personally feel if a person who is associated with us and working with us at whatever experience or the knowledge a person is having, he or she should be happy to and be creative. If he or she is happy, the production or productivity would automatically increase. Creative ideas and innovative ideas would always come. So they are at ease. We don't. I don't push. He pushes because we have the deadlines and
absolutely.
So those things are there. Baki it's normal protocols, and we try. So we should have a shorter day. So we tried 8 to 4. We started our office at 8 o'clock and then closing at 4 p.m. so that they can have they can explore the city and they can do whatever they want. So, but then it became from currently what the system we are having, we work from 9 to 5. So that's how we are experimenting through our systems. So they are. I want them to be very flexible and very confident in terms of discussing ideas. So that's how we can work together.
And something which I always push in the office and people whoever I meet is we should write down ourselves. Whatever experience you have, you should note it down. Of course, if you have a good language skill, you can put it into blog or anything. But then writing is one of the behavior which makes you think. Life has become so fast. So if you sit and write down what you have designed this week, you just start reflecting. And that's where we try to put forward that everyone tries to put down their thoughts. Of course, if you feel like sharing in the office, you share. But if you don't, but then put down your thoughts. That makes you reflect and think, and that's where creativity thrives. If you are more thinking oriented, or else you can sketch or put forward your observation skills. It's much more better as a design studio. So I try to push people to think, to note and sketch their thoughts multiple times. Every week we try to push kya kar rahe ho. So personally, I take much more initiative in doing it. But then it's their willingness, but I push myself in doing that as an office culture, which is there. And definitely, as Shilpi said, we try to make them have their own time. So if we started with 8 to 4, but then everyone has a cumulative that no, we should do it from 9 to 5. And of course, we never do overnights. We do early mornings, but we don't do overnights.
That's really great. Okay, so now Anand and Shilpi, I have personal questions because we have talked more about the sustainability as well, especially about your business. Okay, so now my question is: so you being a couple, I mean, you are spending most of the time in the office and work. So when you are not at work, what are the set of activities you are doing? And so because you are starting your day at 8 o'clock in the morning, right, in the office. And so
for office now I'm going to enjoy this part. For office it's 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. He's a workaholic. He works 24/7.
So definitely we both, of course, she was a fitness freak before COVID also, but then after COVID, after being getting time to reflect on our health, so I am also now spending more time in swimming, other activities which are there, and definitely take out time every week for some sports activity, which I try to look at that. I have to do some sports activities or some other than sports, other than work. Sports activity are which drives me to do things, and that keeps the competitive spirits on.
I like to write. So I write poetry and I read. So that is apart from work, that is what my passion is. So I like
Okay. Any poetry?
No, please.
Yeah.
So some other time.
Okay, so now my next question is about your personal development. Okay, so because see, every leader, every entrepreneur is always trying to improve, on some sort of skills. Okay, so now, my question is, what is one thing which you think is your weakness and you are trying to improve it, and for that you are learning something? This question, you can answer separately both. So first, Anand.
My weakness, or I'm trying to learn.
I mean, it cannot be
Yeah.
a weakness. It can be,
But
a habit or something which.
I'm trying at this point of time also trying to learn much more at semiconductor industry, which is
Okay.
electronics and communication. I find that interesting and thriving. So I have shouldering tools and other things. So that's where if I find time, or else I really try to do online courses on that part. So I have learned few things, but I have to grasp it much more. So that's something which I'm looking at to get more skill sets, technical skill sets, get into more technical of electronics and communication aspect, which is
That's great. Yes.
So as we talk about technology and energy efficiency, I'm more interested in data analysis. So energy ka data again, now what? So there's a lot of scope in terms of in the field of data analysis. So that is one thing which keeps me, you have to think or technologically, or you have to understand what data is, and how to read that data. So that is one thing which I am exploring.
Great.
too technical, na?
Okay, so now my one more question. I'm sure you will find it very easy. The question is, which is one thing? I mean, it can be a story, or it can be a habit, or anything. I mean, which you think your customers or your team members doesn't know about.
So you have to talk about myself.
Yeah, you talk about. I'm just thinking what people don't know about. Everything they know.
Any story or anything happened, any incident which you think that was people doesn't know about, or any habit you have which they don't know.
So I plan my day. I mean, I don't know if people know or don't know about, but I try to plan my day ahead, well in advance. So, and I'm striving for consistency. So sometimes if you are planning properly, some days are like this, like this, like this. So this is one thing which I would like to be more consistent, and this is one thing I think not everybody knows about me. That I have a checklist or to-do list.
That's really cool.
So
Maybe you are reading.
not reading, not so technical. Something no one knows. क्योंकि अब सब मेरे बारे में ये तो जानते हो कि ये करता है, ये करता है, ये तो करते होंगे. But something is, I like to have fun with my daughter, going out. तो मैं उसके साथ में maximum gardens गया हूँ खेलने के लिए, और उसके साथ shots गया हूँ. कोई भी ऐसा भी हमको गार्डन दिखता है, तो हमारा टारगेट बन जाता है कि ये गार्डन में जाने का. So me and her go to the garden. It could be early morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever we can set our time. I try to go. So ब्लास्ट जाने का होता है, या कौन सा गार्डन है मरालाल नगर में, गोटीला गार्डन। तो सारे गार्डन्स हमने विजिट कर चुके हैं, सिम्फनी पार्क, तो वहाँ पे चिल्ड्रंस प्ले एरिया के अलावा।
Superb, superb. So now my last question is, what message do you want to convey to our viewers, to other entrepreneurs, to the society?
So I would like to convey that sustainability and green are really simple. You just need to you don't need to find it complex. It's simple. Try to take one thing at a time. Don't try to do 10 things. One thing, and add on it on a timely basis. So you would be sustainable and would thrive towards green. And it's simple.
From me, I would just little being conscious and being aware about the context in whichever space you are in goes a long way. So we all can start from being aware and being conscious about the environment and society.
So Anand and Shilpi, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time, sharing all insights, sharing your journey, your story, and it was really great talking to you, both of you, and thank you so much. Hi everyone. So as you have seen that it was a great talking to these two leaders, and we came to know a lot many things about sustainability, and especially the green buildings as far as architecture or interior is concerned. And if you have not subscribed Vyapar Jagat TV yet, so please do subscribe Vyapar Jagat TV. And if you know any greenpreneur in your context here, so please do write their name in the comment box, so that we can reach out to them and we can feature them on this particular show. And have a great time. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.
सपना देखें हम उसे पूरा करें, कोई उड़ना चाहे हम उसे विश्वास दे, कोई सपना देखें हम उसे पूरा करें, कोई उड़ना चाहे हम उसे विश्वास दे, जोश भरने को तैयार हम, आगे बढ़ने में राहदार हम, जोश भरने को तैयार हम, आगे बढ़ने में राहदार हम। मेरा व्यापार मेरी पहचान, मेरा व्यापार मेरी पहचान, मेरा व्यापार मेरी पहचान, मेरा व्यापार मेरी पहचान, हर व्यापार को दे पहचान। हर व्यापार को दे पहचान, व्यापार जगत।